Prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. I mean, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, and we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now.
So please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see, now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Wilfred Arnold. Okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God! And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
how do you do it? Teach me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile. Smile going on some shoes, but you know.
Wait, hold up.
I
gotta
when
try
time,
this with you.
When it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing well out there, enjoying your time. You know what I'm saying? It is Wednesday night, the end of Hump Day. We are the tail end. We're at the tail end. We're at the bottom of the hill. Now it's all downhill from here. You know what I mean? We are just getting over the hump. That's what I meant. Just so getting over the hump. We are just slowly but surely getting through the end of the week. There's a lot of things that we got to talk about, and I got very little time to do it today. Unfortunately, I got things to do. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be a super boyfriend here in a little bit. So we got to jump into it. But before we go into all the stuff that's going on, as you see, shout out to Immortal Badass for sending some of these things, because we got some things that we gotta. That I'm going to be pulling up here, because we got to check out some of these things. And, of course, I'm going to be opening up the phone lines here in a little bit to talk about the main question of the night. The speak on it question of the night is, should Trump speak at the CPAC conference that's coming up this weekend? We are going to talk about that very, very soon. Do not call in quite yet. I will let you know when the phone lines are up, okay? Do not call in quite yet. I see the phone number already being shared. Do not call in yet. We got a few things we got to talk about first before we jump all the way into the Speak On It segment of the show. Anyway, before we jump into everything, my brother, what's a guan? T, what's good, man? How you doing, brother?
All is well. All is well. The sun is out, and most of the snow we had for the past few weeks is now, thank you, is now gone. So definitely happy with that.
Isn't it crazy how quickly it's there and then it's gone? How you doing, sweetheart? Hi. Isn't it crazy how quickly it's there and then it's gone? You know what I'm saying? Like, you go through all this torment and trash, and then all of a sudden the sun comes out, and next thing you know, it's all gone. Isn't that crazy? That's absolutely crazy, right, T?
I'm just happy it came faster than expected. It's been a snowstorm each week, seems like. So I'm happy to get out there and not shovel for once.
Yeah, facts. Speaking of the snow and everything, obviously, as we already know, there's been a lot of stuff. There's been power outages throughout the entire state of Texas. Multiple people have been out without heat, without weather, or without heat, without electricity, without food. I mean, it's really, really bad out there. And we just recently, shout out to Immortal Badass. He sent a link to an update on everything that's going on in regards to the power outages in Texas right now. The Governor Abbott, got to get up to the mic and give us an update of what's going on. So I wanted us to take a look at that, see if, hey, is there any new updates? Is anything going on? We don't know. Let's find out.
Questions remain about what that promised reform will actually look like. But tonight, Governor Greg Abbott is talking about recovery and response.
He is delivering a statewide address on the winter crisis that took hold in Texas last week and where we are in that recovery today. Let's listen in live to the governor.
Good evening from the State Emergency Operations Center. Tragic does not even begin to describe the devastation and the suffering that you have endured over the past week. Too many of you were shivering in your own homes. No power, no heat, no water. I want to thank the countless Texans who stepped up to help those in need. As is often the case, the worst of events brings out the best in Texans. For those of you still hurting, I want you to know the state is using every possible resource to fix this problem.
But first, let me complain and say that it's everyone else's fault except what the real problem is. Let me blame everything under the sun first before I actually try to figure out what the hell is going on.
Many of you are angry, and you have a right to be.
Duh.
I'm angry too.
Really?
At a time when essential services were needed the most, the system broke. You deserve answers. You will get those answers.
Really? You sure?
The Electric Reliability Council of Texas, known as ERCOT, manages the flow of power in Texas. Before the storm hit, ERCOT repeatedly assured the state and the public that ERCOT was prepared. Those assurances turned out to be false. We now know that power generators of all sources were not prepared for this severe winter weather. We have also learned that ERCOT operators should have acted quicker to stabilize the grid and to prevent power generators from being knocked offline. Our task now is to take the lessons learned from the past week, as well as the anger that we all feel, and channel them into immediate action. I made responding to this storm an emergency item this legislative session. I am already working on solutions with the Lieutenant Governor, the Speaker of the House, and the state legislature. First is protecting you. It is outrageous for residents to be saddled with skyrocketing power bills.
Yeah, let's not forget. I'm glad he brought that up. Somebody mentioned it on the morning show today, but I didn't get a chance to really address it. There was a lot to talk about today, of course, as always. But there were residents, Texans, that were getting electric bills that were like tens of thousands of dollars. worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's insane.
The state is already investigating multiple electric providers about these spikes. Also, we have ordered that Texans will not have their power shut off because of unpaid bills until the legislature has time to act on this.
Okay.
Second, ERCOT must be overhauled. 5 ERCOT board members have already resigned, including the chair and the vice chair. But more must be done.
Like firing more people? Or figuring out what the hell is going on? I'm sorry. To me, it's like, okay, cool. Sure. Fire some people. That's fine. Have them resign. Force them to resign. Force them to put in their 2 weeks and whatnot. But does that answer any of the issues that are going on in Texas? I'll leave that question up to the family chat. Go ahead and comment down below.
Tomorrow, the state legislature begins comprehensive investigations of ERCOT. And I am already working with the legislature on reforms to add more power to the grid and to ensure that we never run out of power again.
Okay.
Also, the Office of Attorney General has launched a formal investigation into ERCOT. Third, the fact is, power generation from all sources buckled under the harsh, freezing winter weather. That includes natural gas, coal, nuclear, as well as wind and solar. Each of these power sources failed to fully produce because of inadequate safeguards. That is why I have made it a legislative priority to mandate and to fund the winterization and stabilization of the Texas power infrastructure.
You should have done that a long-ass time ago, bruh.
This will protect our power grid from future winter weather events. No words can fix what happened or ease the pain that you have endured. But I assure you of this legislative session will not end until we fix these problems. And we will ensure that the tragic events of the past week are never repeated.
Okay.
Your safety is my top concern.
Lie detector test came back and that says that is a lie.
And I pray that God continues to bless you all.
I think he's
Texas Governor Greg Abbott in a live statewide address there, basically laying out what he wants to see happen with the power grid, and he says there will be accountability. He tells Texans, a lot of you are angry. You have a right to be. I am angry too. That's he.
Congratulations. He is angry too. I'm so angry. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. I'm angry too, but I'm going to do what I need to do because I'm going to do this thing, and it's called legislation that you're going to really appreciate. I'm going to put a legislation out here that's going to, winterize these evildoers. Sorry. Call these damn windmills because it's all their fault. So that's what I'm going to do. These guys that were the heads of ERCOT have stepped down. You should be extremely appreciative of what I did because I had them step down. No. I'm not going to keep them around if they're causing problems and blackouts and power outages and people dying and freezing to death. Hell no. I'm bringing in legislation. That's what I'm doing for my Texans. For my Lone Star people. That's literally what he's doing. He doesn't care. He's putting on the song and dance now. These are things that should have happened before. But now he's going, look at these wonderful things that I'm doing now. I'm pulling out all the stops. Hey! Stop the presses. I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that this stuff never happens again. You see, I'm solving the problem. When the problem didn't need to happen, if you did what you needed to do before instead of shaving off a couple mil in your budget, I'm sorry, might as well be safe than sorry. Might as well be more prepared than ill-prepared. And then, millions of people are out of power. Millions of people are starving to death. Millions of people are freezing to death. People are dying. Dying. And now he's like, I brought out these legislations. You're going to really appreciate it because I'm going to take care of it. And those bills, we're going to hold those over until it's time, until it's the legislation's made, before the investigation into those power bills makes sense. So you get free power. If you have power. Okay. I'm done. I'm done doing my Texan accent. T, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this, bruh?
Oh my God, you are a hoot always.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for the comedy.
You always find a way to make us smile or laugh despite what's going on in the news. So we appreciate that.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying, T. I'm trying.
Yeah, I was making a joke in the chat. The sign language guy should have been using his middle fingers more because this situation.
He should have. This
whole situation is full of ish, as we all know. There's no way to bring back the life of children and other people who died over the past week or so. There's no way to do that. And for the citizens or residents and those who are paying these bills before deserve a refund. Not trying to find the word, not overcharged bills, because if the service is off, then they're not paying for anything. So it should be a refund of anything, not someone being charged $6,000, $9,000, whatever it may be. It's a total disaster down there. I don't know how many residents have generators. I'm not sure how many have gas heat, but those are the people who probably avoided most of this. But those who had to rely on ERCOT are screwed, and ERCOT owes these people a lot more than just some sloppy speech after the fact.
Yeah, it's just not enough. Just like you said, I'm just piggybacking off what you said, bro. Obviously, through my ridiculous, stupid ass comedy, I mean, of course, I'm basically saying him saying legislation, and I mandated a legislation that's gonna. It doesn't matter. I don't give a damn. It does not solve the entire state having issues. It doesn't solve the people who are in need of power. Think about like all the nursing homes, all the people that were on life support, all the people that are in dire need of electricity right now that do not have that electricity available. It is mind-blowing to think that is real. It's mind-blowing to think that there's a state that is completely blacked out to a certain extent. I mean, shout out to Valinda. I don't know if she's listening right now, but, someone like Valinda and Joseph, that, who was on the show last week, that, he Skyped in, she called in last week. Her power was turned back on. I mean, she was able to watch the show this morning. By the way, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Thank you. And no, thank you so much for the super chat as well. I didn't get a chance to say that yet on today's show. But at the same time, you have... So they must have their power back on, but at the same time, there's still millions of other people that still don't have power right now. Still. There's so
Pascal,
many people in dire straits. Go ahead, T.
One thing, I was curious. I follow sports, and one of the most wealthiest sports teams is the Dallas Cowboys, owned by Jerry Jones, and he's an uber billionaire. And I was wondering, was he doing anything to help out his local residents in Texas?
That's a good question.
what I did find out is that he owns a gas company, and he has hit the jackpot pretty much. His profit has went through the roof because those who relied on gas were going to his company to stay warm. But I'm not sure if he, used his good heart, that's a joke, and gave some money back to people who needed it, or to help buy generators for people who needed it, or supply food or water. I don't know. But if he's getting all this extra money that he doesn't even need, his good heart, if he has one, should be using that extra money, that profit, to help people who are in need in Texas.
I would love to see some people who are proud to be Texans. Maybe they live in LA, or maybe they live somewhere else, but they were born and raised in Texas, and they're proud to be from Texas, going out of their way to do the right thing and help the people that are actually in need, because we do have a lot of people in need right now. Let's not fake the funk here. There's a lot of people that could use a helping hand right now. A little bit goes a long ass way. We saw that firsthand on the show last week. Shout out to the best family on the freaking planet, which is the Pascal Show family. You know what I'm saying? And being able to step up and do what they need to do, reach into their pockets and help out a family in need. Like I said, a little bit goes a long way. So I'd love to see other people do the same damn thing, especially dudes who got buku money that got nothing else better to do but spend the monies. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'd love to see happen. It's very frustrating to see people hurting, and these guys are living in the lap of luxury, and they're not doing anything. They're not trying to step up and do their part in helping their fellow man. So this whole thing is just... This whole thing, him going, I feel you, and I'm angry too. He ain't angry because he probably has power at his house. He probably has electricity. He's probably more than just fine. He's living just comfortable and fine. Of course, if he doesn't do anything right, this will be hanging over his head for the rest of his term. And when it's time for him to be reelected, no one's going to forget this. Just like Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz now, his approval ratings dropped 20%. 20%. Do you know how hard it is to go down 20%? You gotta do something that would make your approval rating nosedive, y'all. It nosedove down 20% after the incident, after the moment where when he flew over to Cancun and started lying through his teeth. Now, the funny thing is just to tap on Ted Cruz for a second. What's funny is that when you see him out and he's doing all these charitable things, no one believes it. No one's believing him right now because they think he's full of ish. They think that he's forcing himself to do these things, that the things that he's doing right now is just so that he looks good, so he can keep securing his job, so he can keep making the monies for himself.
Taco Ted used a private plane to go to Mexico during the pandemic. And who's paying for that plane?
Taxpayers.
The taxpayers. I think it's time for us not to focus on canceling entertainers, but cancel our so-called politicians.
Yeah.
That should be the goal for this entire year going forward.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, those who be voting in office should have maybe a 2-year term limit, and then after that, next.
I would love that to happen. I would love to see something like that happen, because actors right now. I mean, because we are going to hopefully tap into Gina Carano here in a little bit too. Because, like I said, there's so much to talk about and very little time to do it. But she's just acting. She's just saying words. These other people run our state, our city, our country. They're the ones who make the decisions on what we should do and what we can and cannot do. Not these actors. These actors are just like freaking, they're standing on a mark and saying words, to be or not to be. And then they cut and they walk off stage and they do a couple lines of blow and then they go to party their asses off and they go to sleep and they wake up, lather, rinse, and repeat. So why are we doing this to the other dudes? Why are we doing this to the people who actually matter? You know what I'm saying? We are so busy focusing on musical artists and actors reality show hosts that we're not even focused on the thing that really matters the most. And it's these mother lovers that run our ish. And they hide in plain sight, yo. They hide in plain sight. But we just look over it and we just keep going. But Kim Kardashian, oh my God, they're getting divorced. I can't believe that. Like, that's the things that we're talking about, other than what we shouldn't care about is Ted Cruz showing his ass. And then now he's trying to, like, scoop up this fumbled ball. He's just like, oh, and we're just watching him try to pick up this fumble ball. He's just fumbling. And we're like, oh, lo siento. Oh, as he's doing this the entire time. We should be canceling his ass and being like, chucking up the deuces and be done. That's what I personally think. Yes, I'm crazy. What else is new? But at the same time, these are the things these are the things that need to be put in perspective, y'all. These things need to be put into perspective. But it's the guys that actually matter that we don't listen, that we don't watch with its fine-tooth comb. Or we are so quick to go, Kanye, F Kanye, slavery was a choice, cancel his ass, don't put no more money in his pocket. And then you got people like Ted Cruz flies across, leaves the country, leaves his own state so he can get all warm, so he can get his balls warm and his ass warm again. And we're not even sitting there. No, real talk. We're so busy defending his ass. We have media coverage of other right-wing media platforms that sit there and defend his ass when he did something really bad. I'm just saying any politician, doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're on. It just seems like it's so quick. We are so quick, so freaking quick to defend their honor. But then if it's a Gina Carano, bad example, but if it's like a Kanye moment or something of that sort, we are so quick to cancel them so quickly. We don't think twice about it. We are cutthroat as hell. But with these politicians, he's on my side, so I gotta protect it. What? Like I said, he could have blackface on, knee deep in some vagina, freaking doing a rail of cocaine, have a needle sticking out his arm, has a freaking Confederate flag flying in the background whilst flying over to Cancun, and somebody will find an excuse on why he's okay, why he should still be senator. I'm telling you.
I believe you.
It's unbelievable.
People are more loyal to their party, or you would say what they're told to, believe in. There's many people aren't really voting for people that they study or evaluate or analyze. They just vote for a party that they're told to vote for based off maybe taxes, based off maybe a few of their talking points and policies. But for the most part, people are just voting for a party that they should vote for based off, who they're around. And it's unfortunate because we see right now the politicians, like you said, are hiding in plain sight. With a bloody knife, behind them saying, I didn't do anything wrong. And people are forgiving them, are sticking up for them, and they're not holding these people accountable. But they're quick to hold somebody accountable on the opposite side of their belief system. Mm-hmm. So it's very hypocritical. Unfortunately, we are seeing, the politicians and also the media as well, both of those entities, divide us and misuse our vote or misuse our right to be consumers, because we're paying for media services and we're voting for politicians. So we're all, as American people, being taken for granted, I believe.
Absolutely. I mean, we full on take for granted, and that's what's so frustrating about it. It has to be an Anthony Weiner situation for us to go, ooh, and then finally move away. It has to be something extreme. And it just, to me, it just, like I said, just doesn't make any sense to me. Just doesn't make any bloody sense, And that's one thing, you know, that, and that's just one thing. These guys will sit there and do everything. He's trying his best. Well, he should have been trying his best a long ass time ago. And now everything came to a head, and now he's trying to, you know, like I said, just trying to scoop up a fumble, and he's just, it's not working. It's just not working. It's just not working. But moving on to the next story, y'all. We got to move on to the next story because I got to open up these phone lines here very, very shortly. We got to talk about this. I don't know why, I feel like I've talked about this before. Honest to God, I feel like I've talked about this before. So, ex-aide gives details of sexual harassment claims against Governor Cuomo. This is trending hard right now. So, Lindsey Boylan accused the New York governor of kissing her in his office in 2018. She left her job as a special advisor to him soon after. So, former aide to Governor Cuomo published a lengthy essay on Wednesday morning accusing the governor of sexual harassment and outlining several unsettling episodes, including an unsolicited kiss in his Manhattan office. The aide, Lindsey Boylan, described several years of uncomfortable interactions with Mr. Cuomo, a third-term Democrat, including an invitation to play strip poker on a government airplane, and an email from another top aide suggesting that the governor thought she was a better-looking sister of another woman. Miss Boylan, who worked for the state's economic development agency at the time, published that email from December 2016 and said that the governor began calling her the other woman's name in professional settings, an experience she described as degrading. Mr. Cuomo's administration, already reeling from a controversy over his handling of the nursing homes, denied Miss Boylan's accusations. Miss Boylan's claims of inappropriate behavior are quite simply false, Caitlin Gerard said, and she is the governor's press secretary. Miss Boylan, who is running for Manhattan Borough President, first publicly accused the governor of sexual harassment in December in a series of remarks on Twitter. At the time, Miss Boylan did not speak to the media of offering details of the alleged harassment or provide corroboration. On Wednesday, however, Miss Boylan wrote that she had told her husband and mother of her concerns about the governor. She also offered new details, including describing an incident in 2018 when she said that she and Mr. Cuomo were alone in his Manhattan office. As I got up to leave, I walked toward an open door. He stepped in front of me and kissed me on the lips. She wrote, I was in shock, but I kept walking. Mr. Cuomo and Miss Boylan met one-on-one at least 4 times in 2018, according to the governor's public schedule database. 3 of those meetings took place in the state capitol. One, on the afternoon of July 19th, happened in Mr. Cuomo's office in Midtown. Miss Boylan wrote that in her early days working for the Cuomo administration, her boss at Empire State Development had once told her that the governor had a crush on me. She added that Mr. Cuomo had gone out of his way to touch me on my lower back, arms, and legs. His senior staff began keeping tabs on my whereabouts, she wrote, publishing an email from 2016 in which a top aide to Cuomo asked Miss Boylan's boss if she was going to be attending an event. The attention from the governor was also included a private invitation to his office in late 2016. Miss Boylan said when she says he showed up at her cigar box, when she showed her a cigar box, Mr. Cuomo said he received from President Bill Clinton. That's funny. Let Let me repeat that again. When she says he showed her a cigar box Mr. Cuomo said he received from Bill Clinton, get it? I'll wait for it. It's like a grenade. It's going to go off here soon. A cigar box that was given to him from President Bill Clinton. I'm just letting you know. When he served in his administration as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, a 2-decade-old reference to President Clinton's affair with, there you go, Monica Lewinsky was not lost on me, she said. So she's also written that the governor joked that they should play strip poker while on a flight back from an event in Western New York. The two were in close quarters, sitting across from one another on a plane with a press aide and a state trooper sitting nearby. Miss Boylan said, she replied, "That's exactly what I was thinking," in a sarcastic manner. She said, I try to play it cool. She wrote in this essay, which is published on Medium. But in that moment, I realized just how acquiescent I had become. And of course, there's more to the story, but there you have it. I remember this story because I remember her name and I remember the sexual allegations before, but it was all speculation at that time. It was not confirmed. It was just, there was just a story of allegation, but there wasn't an actual like, boom, here we go. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a full-on description or anything. I do remember Miss Boylan saying something along the lines of like he was grabby and touchy, and he made a lot of remarks about my physical appearance type of thing. But we never heard anything about strip poker on a plane, cornering her and kissing her, etc., etc., etc. So, T, what are your thoughts on this story, man?
I'm not surprised. This is what happens. This has been happening since, I guess the media has been exposing it to us. JFK was one of the first presidents that I can recall, where his personal life was out in the news. And I'm pretty sure it's been happening before that. Politicians are men of power, privilege, prestige. Most of the time they have, lots of money. So they're going to pressure and put on their, put their hands on or try to put their hands on any kind of woman they deem attractive enough while they're in their office or a private plane or, somewhere where they can do it discreetly. So I'm not shocked at all. It's unfortunate that it's happening despite, these women's rights movements. But at the same time, men in power are going to, use their second brain, and try to persuade and convince a younger woman to fulfill his needs, so that way he can help her out with her ambitious career in politics. But it's not surprising at all.
I'm just gonna play. Okay, just indulge me, guys, for a second. Just indulge me. And this is not me trying to be funny. And I'm not trying to be controversial at all. Real talk. What are the chances? Just rock with me on this, okay? What are the chances of it just him? Okay. The kissing part is one thing. Let's look on another side of the another side of the spectrum here, okay? And this is just me exercising this idea out. Like just work with me here, okay? What are the chances of him? What are the chances of him actually just being physically attracted to this woman, and it's just a guy interested in a girl, and that's it? What if he's making those stupid remarks because he's just being funny? What if those remarks are just him being, him just making a joke? Just a joke.
Is that the same?
Because I say a lot of sorry, real quick. I say a lot of crazy stuff on this show. I say a lot of crazy stuff. Okay? that doesn't mean that I'm going to do anything. You see what I'm saying? But here it is though. I understand like saying something like strip. Well, one, I would never say strip poker, period, because unless it was like a full on joke. But I know I'm not going to say something like that. But to another woman, one, because I would just get killed by my girlfriend, and I'm smarter than that. Let's be real. But at the same time, it's. I don't know. You think about these people are working with each other all the time, right? They're working in close proximity. They're dealing with things every single day. You know, ish is hitting the fan all the time. There's things going on. So the comfortability level, I guess the professionalism still is there, but it kind of gets a little gray. I'm just saying, like I said, just exercising a thought. What if he is attracted to her? Maybe he thought that there was a connection. I don't know. I know I sound like an idiot right now. I do. But I'm just throwing it out there. Like just thinking on the other side of the spectrum here. You know? Thoughts? T. I know I'm probably gonna get like destroyed on this, but I'm just saying.
No,
I'm not sitting here saying that this is right. I'm just pointing out like when you think about power, not power, politician, or a freaking ice cream man, it doesn't matter if somebody's like, "Hey, I think you're cute." I mean, I know that, like, I don't know. I wouldn't go and just straight up kiss a girl without her thumbs up, you know what I mean? Without her go ahead, without the green light. But at the same time, I don't know. It's just such a gray. It's such a muddy area.
Well, this reminded me of something that's really, really funny. There is, I'll put a link in the chat of a quick clip, something called Harassment Day. It's one of my favorite comedians, the late great Patrice O'Neill.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
He has a segment. He talks about Harassment Day being the Thursday before Thanksgiving, or Tuesday, I think it was. And men working with women is comparable to men being grizzly bears and women being salmon dipped in honey. And how can we actually work with these women that we view as being our prey and not try to consume?
Right.
So it's a pretty funny joke. It's hilarious. And it's something that we have to deal with as men, is working with women, because like we're naturally, I think, biologically wired to be, I guess, more sexual, you would say.
Yeah.
And we're always in hunt mode or fishing mode. We get off on trying to catch our prey, whereas women can sit back and play that "don't catch me now," but
being pursued.
Still, right, exactly. So imagine a man with power and prestige and money, and some clout, who's always gotten his way, and to have a woman around him who is attractive and who probably dresses in a way where it's nice to him. And once in a while, she has a little cleavage showing or a skirt.
Right.
He's one like, listen, let me think this over. Maybe she is being a little flirty. Maybe she's giving me that look. Maybe she's rubbing my shoulders and going, "Hey, how you doing today?" A pat on the back. Like she's doing those innuendos, those little slick, physical contact moments. And he's like, "Listen, let me try something, because I think she likes me too."
Mm-hmm.
But it's always that gray area where she's playing games with you, and she's leading you on, and she's trying to see how far she can get with it. And then she can always push that stop button when she feels like it. So it's one of those tricky things you have to deal with, as a man. And you have to really kind of know the timing of it. Or it can backfire.
Yeah, and that's what's so frustrating about it. You know what I mean? You just never know. You just never know Like you innately, as a dude, let's just say, I mean, and F it if the guy has, let's just be real, just a guy being a guy. I mean, forget if he's married or if he's, or not. There's still that, if he's attracted to that said person that he's working with, there's that issue, instantly of, okay, this person's very good looking, or, this is my type. You know what I mean? I like this person. Let me see what's up. But then there's that, then it just, things get all muddled. Things start going into that weird land of ambiguity. And, I mean, it is what it is. But at the same time, like I said, it's just something, because I know that him going up to the woman is totally wrong. Like going up and kissing her, what the hell's wrong with you? There's a certain level of respect that you need to keep with. You know what I'm saying? And obviously there's things within a workplace that you have to abide by, period. That's why you don't ish where you eat. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Just, sometimes it's like, maybe you're just making it. Maybe he just slipped out and made a joke like, oh, we should play some strip poker. He was saying it in a group. To me, it's like he was saying it in a group. Does that make sense? Because it was other people on the plane with him, and he was saying that joke. And I feel like it was a joke. Not like yeah, you should go and let's get you naked.
He was testing the waters.
Maybe. You know what I mean?
Testing the waters.
Maybe he was testing. Yeah, and maybe he was testing the waters for sure.
Yeah.
And that's not good. And that's not good either. But at the same time, it's interesting. It's interesting. But anyway, I digress. So those accusations finally have come out. Andrew Cuomo, the stories of his sexual harassment, details surrounding the sexual harassment allegations are now out, and we will definitely see what's going to happen here with everything. So, all right, guys, the moment you guys all been waiting for. Phone lines are now officially open. Give me a call, 314-766-4581. We definitely got to talk about this situation. Just earlier today, we had McCarthy and Cheney in the same place at the same time, and they were not agreeing a whole lot on whether Trump should be speaking at the CPAC conference this Sunday or not. So I wanted to put that question out to you guys and see what your thoughts are. So I wanted to see what your thoughts are on this situation, because this is a very interesting story. I want you guys to check this video out, though, first, while we get ready. They were doing a press briefing. They were in the middle of doing a press briefing, and at the end, this happened.
Do you believe President Trump should be speaking, or former President Trump should be speaking at CPAC this weekend?
Yes, he should.
Congresswoman Cheney?
That's up to CPAC. I've been clear in my views about President Trump and the extent to which following January 6th, I don't believe that he should be playing a role in the future of the party or the country.
On that high note, thank you all very much.
So there it is, y'all. There it is, the moment where they were like, Liz Cheney was like, nope, I'm not feeling it. I am not feeling it about Trump coming in and speaking at the CPAC convention. Also, I'm not comfortable with him even representing this country. Period. Now, there's obviously a rift. There's obviously a tear going on within the Republican Party. And I just did a pop-up video about this. And, of course, I would love to know what you guys think about this. You know what I'm saying? So give me a call, 314-766-4581. I'm going to throw it over to T and see what he thinks about this. Do you think Trump should be speaking at this Sunday, actually, at the CPAC convention? What are your thoughts? Do you think he should or no?
I mean, he has a right to speak. You know, he does, but I probably won't agree with him when he does speak. We have to be careful who we give, you know, an audience to or power to, because they can easily lead people the wrong way, and we've seen that already. Despite I think despite people's, you know, background in terms of politics, they have to admit there was a mistake letting him get elected and allow him to stay in power this long and do the things that he did and say the things that he said. You have to just, you know, straight have blinders on or just be biased, or you know, or you don't want to believe what you saw. But you know what was allowed to happen on January 6th, what forever be in history, a black eye, sore eye in our history of our country, unfortunately. All the testimonies I've heard from the people who were there, as far as security, the Capitol Police, some politicians, it was a zombie attack,
right,
on a Capitol building. You know, yeah, and I've heard all the counter arguments already, but it still doesn't make this right. You know, it is what it is. It's a really horrific moment in history with people who died, officers passed away. You know, it's a super bad moment. Right before the inauguration, right after an election recount. I mean, all these historic moments in history are going to be, you know, annotated, and I guess there'd be an asterisk next to these things saying, like, you know, by the way, Capitol riots were during the same time as an inauguration and the same time as an election. So it's sad looking back at it. If you look at it in a clear, you know, authentic, non-biased manner, it's pretty sad what happened.
Yeah. Yes. The 6th was terrible. It's an embarrassment on our country, and the fact that we still have somebody, the fact that we have people, a group of people that are still cool with him coming up and speaking is still beyond me. Like, I feel like if the Republican Party is in dire straits, right? If the Republican Party is in dire straits, they should be finding their next superstar. Their next Republican superstar. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Trump ends up running again in 2024. In 4 years, he won't be able to, like, say he gets reelected. In 4 years, he won't be able to run again. Either he'll be too old, or if he wins, he's done. 2 terms, that's it. That's all you get. So let's just say he comes back in 2024 and he wins. We have him from 2024 to 2028, right? After that, it's done. He can't do it no more. So why isn't the Republican Party looking for their next juggernaut instead of focusing solely on Trump? That's what they should be doing. They should be focusing on finding the next big thing. Trump apparently was their great white hope, and
he was so polarizing.
He's extremely polarizing, and that's why
as a figure. So maybe they're trying to see who else is as charismatic and who else has the big enough cojones to call out different people. And those things about Trump were admirable. You got to give him his clout. I mean, his rep on, speaking against things that he thought were BS. But at the same time, you have to look at Trump as the whole entity. You can't look at 2 things about him. There's many more things he did that were wrong than were good. So, and people have to see the whole picture when they think about his legacy, not just 1 year, but all 4 years. Not just one speech, but all his speeches. Yeah. And that's the problem with people. They're picking and choosing, cherry picking about things about him that they adored so much. But again, look at the entire package that you received. What did he benefit America, all of America. He did not. He benefited select Americans, and he used a lot more Americans to keep his power. So people can't turn a blind eye to that. It's right in our faces. Anything that he said or did is available on social media. So, in his own Twitter account, for the most part, he was spewing out different things throughout the years, and you should have been having more of a, I guess you can say, a conscious mind about what he put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because many times he was liable for a lot of disruption in this country, or he also stirred the pot and had people outraged about things without evidence. And they may say, oh, the evidence is right there, but again, they had a retrial, a recount, and nothing was proven to be what they thought it was. So that's the issue right there. People are getting all gassed up to believe some kind of way. So a lot of feelings were, trumping, pun intended, the facts. And we saw what happened as a result of that.
Yeah, what you just said is very, very true, and it's right on the nose. I just can't wait for the time when we're not muttering his name anymore. I mean, I feel like that's not going to happen for a very long time. But because Trump, regardless, the name Trump is going to be around for a long time. Doesn't matter how hard, how we look at it, how hard we try to get rid of that name will be forever known. Because his lineage, his family, they're all going to be in some line of politics somewhere. I guarantee you that. But it's okay. I'm just going to say this, and then we can move on to the next subject. Because it's okay if nobody wants to call on this story. But I do think that Trump needs to figure out a way to get back in the good graces of the general American people. If he's going to go and speak on Sunday, for a fact I'm going to be watching. For a fact that we're all going to be watching, right? I'll be doing a live stream. I'm going to be watching it because I want to see what he has to say. It's going to be the first time him being back speaking. Everybody going to be watching this. For a fact, everyone's going to be watching this. Now, and I said this in my pop-up video. I really do truly believe that he should not speak on Sunday until he is found not guilty for everything. He just got done with the impeachment. They're still talking about indicting him, charging him criminally. We're still waiting on that. So, I think he needs to do that, be found not guilty, and then maybe speak. Because here's the thing. If he was to come out and say, oh yeah, I'm running, and then suddenly he gets charged criminally, and if he gets found guilty, there's no point of him running. None. And all that work and all that stress and everything would be for naught. But I do truly think that he needs to go out first, get all this legalities and all this stuff that's going on. All his esquiring the hell out of stuff, be found not guilty, and then he can come in and start doing some things. But then at the same time, I truly think that he doesn't have a fighting chance. He does not have a fighting chance. If he runs in 2024, he does not have a fighting chance. No one's going to forget what happened on 2021, January 6th. No one's going to forget that. There's people still that still feel that it was his fault to this day. And they will always feel that way until they die. And until that happens, I mean, until he's found like that it wasn't his fault, people are still going to think this. And everyone's worried about 4 more years of a nightmare. Don't get me wrong. There's people who are hardcore Trump supporters and they're supporting him, think that he did nothing wrong and he's the greatest president they've ever had. By far, the greatest they've ever had. You know, like they've never seen before. But at the same time, the man was a nightmare to a lot of other people.
I'm
no one's going to
curious
forget
to hear. Yeah, I'm curious to hear for those who are his biggest supporters. Honestly, what made him your president of choice, the one that you was loyal to throughout his whole entire, time in office. I don't mean this in a way that's sarcastic. I mean, I'm really curious to see and hear that point of view, because, when Obama was elected, I remember, a similar thing where a lot of people who were black or a lot of people who are minorities voted for Obama just because he was different. And I questioned Obama a lot, and I hold everybody accountable, especially anybody I vote for. And my mind towards Obama changed over the years, but it wasn't something I was surprised about, because I really don't believe in any kind of leader or president really making things different for those who are everyday, everyday American. I don't think that they want to impact people's lives, on that level. So, but I get caught up when people are. I get caught up when people are, so gun ho about one person coming to save them. I just don't believe that's reality. I don't see it. No one's going to save anybody. It's up to the American people to go out and work hard and do the best for themselves.
Right.
It's good to have a leader in charge who is mindful of the everyday American working hard and voted for them. But I don't think they have an impact in the community. That really comes down to local politicians. So
Yeah.
I
mean, it all comes down to, there's so many other levels, and that's the thing. It's like they can't just hold everything onto one person. They can't hold tight to just one person and say, this is the be all and end all, and we got to hold on to him for dear life because he is the representation of the entire party, because he is not. And there's people like Liz Cheney that are sitting there going, no, he is not he does not represent all of the Republican Party. Not all Republicans, as she's even said this, not all Republicans represent white supremacists. She's even said that there's no reason for that, period. But unfortunately, this is where we're at right now. But like I said, there most definitely needs to be a new Republican candidate, or new Republican candidates that actually properly represent the Republican Party in the best way possible. That's it. But we got to jump into the next thing, because I know Lady Justice, I don't know if she's still here, but I know she mentioned, if I'm correct, it was Lady Justice that mentioned this in the Discord. By the way, I got some interesting things to say about Discord, so be on the lookout, because I'm going to be talking about that very, very shortly. But I wanted to show you guys this one particular story, or the interview with Shapiro and Gina Carano. And the thing is we most definitely have got to talk about Gina Carano's interview. There's something that happened in the interview. I'm just showing a little bits and pieces of the interview, because I think it's important that we take a look at this and just how it was presented, and just getting you guys' 2 cents on it, getting your thoughts on it and everything. this is going to be our last story for the day, or for the night. But there's something, and I was hesitant about showing this interview solely because I was really thinking like it might be old news by this time, by bringing this story up, talking about this story, because I feel like a lot of other people have talked about it on several different things, on several different channels. But after seeing it being brought up in the Discord, which, by the way, please join our Discord. We're having really incredible conversations over there, and a lot of the conversations I'm seeing over there are getting clicked and dragged into the live shows as well. So you guys are helping shape the show more and more as you guys are commenting, throwing out videos and articles and stuff like that, because sometimes I miss things. So I, of course, really appreciate the help and the support. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is here it is. We're going to check this out because it's mainly about how she was being treated before, like, during this whole situation with the tweets and all that, and how Disney was treating her in regards to all this. And this is Ben Shapiro, kerfuffle. So enjoy.
And that really is, even according to the sources that have talked to the Hollywood media, essentially what happened is that they were still getting ready to feature you in the Disney shareholder meeting and all of this, and then decided that they were not going to do any of that. And according to people speaking to the Hollywood Reporter, they decided months in advance that they were essentially looking for an excuse to get rid of you. Had they conveyed any of that to you, or how did you find out that they had decided not to bring you on for more at Disney Plus and Lucasfilm?
Like boxers headhunt sometimes and they forget to go to the body. I feel like Disney or Lucasfilm or whoever it is, maybe just certain people in that company, I feel like I've been being headhunted for the last, I don't know how many months. And you can feel it, like just a couple weeks ago, Lucasfilm asked an artist that they employ to erase my character and put a different character in place. And, he proudly announces this on Twitter and erases my character and puts, another character in place. And all of the fans of Cara Dune were just outraged. They're like, why didn't you just add the character? Why did you have to take off the character? Is there something wrong? Is Gina getting fired? I've been through so much, and I've seen so much now clearly of like the bullying that's been taking place. And I saw it before. It's not like, I'm not the only one that's ever been bullied by this company. And I know that so deeply that I could share a story and it would turn things around in the media, but I can't do that because it would be selling out. A friend that I don't really have the same views as, but I'm not gonna, sell out somebody to take the attention off me. So if that person said something about how hard I went to bat for that person, it would change things. But everybody's afraid of losing their job.
So they announced publicly that you're not coming back after this post that you put on social media, and we'll get to the content of the post in just a second. Did they ever come to you and ask for an apology? Did they ever come to you and coordinate with you in any way? Or did you just essentially pick up a newspaper one day and you read that you were no longer on the show?
I looked on the internet and, you check your Twitter and I'm trending, and the Fire Gina Carano hashtag worked.
So Disney never contacted you and asked for some sort of back down or some sort of explanation. It was just, you're done, and you find out essentially the same way everybody else did?
Well, yeah. I saw somebody from the company accidentally sent me a conversation of
this part is interesting,
that they were tracking the Fire Gina Carano hashtag on content that had nothing to do with me. It was actually had zero to do with me. And then all of a sudden, I always get thrown in the mix. Like, okay, so this is trending, but let's put her in there, Fire Gina Carano. And they accidentally sent me an email, which was very enlightening. So I knew they were paying attention. I know that there's some people that went to bat for me. but I know that they didn't really win out in the end.
So let's talk about some of the controversial social media posts, because I think it's good for you to be able to explain exactly what you meant by this stuff, since people have deliberately misinterpreted nearly everything.
Yeah.
So there are a few of them. There was the one right after the election in which you essentially said something that I think virtually all conservatives believe, which is if you want to stop voter fraud, you need a voter ID. We need to tighten up the voter procedures. For some reason, people found this very controversial.
Right.
So that one seems fairly self-explanatory to me.
Yeah, well, this is not something I say with pride, but it was my first time voting. I have never voted before.
She's never voted before until just recently. And yet she's strong. She stands so strongly on these thoughts and beliefs because she doesn't vote. She doesn't politic. You know what I mean? She don't do politicking so much. But suddenly she votes, and suddenly she is a connoisseur. A connoisseur of how things should be. Just something I find interesting. I feel like she's, I don't blame her. She's probably busy doing headlocks and, rear naked chokeholds and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Roundhouse kicks and punching and jabbing and being a badass, right? She just voted for the first time just recently.
And I know I'm late to the game here, but I never really thought that it counted. And politicians had never really turned me on. And so I don't pay attention to things that don't really turn me on. I pay my taxes, and I pay a lot of taxes. And so I just figure, okay, I'm doing my duty, and I'm just going to keep on fighting. What I've been trying to do is just get my career going and keep on plugging through to where I can get, this bigger opportunity. The mail-in thing, we got an extra mail-in. Everybody I talked to got an extra mail-in ballot. And so I'm like, okay, so this is my first time voting. I'm going to go in and I'm going to take this and I'm going to do my part so that way I can actually talk about it. Because everybody says, you can't talk about it unless you vote. And so I agreed with them. So I never talked about it.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to get this phone call, see what's going on here. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hold on. What?
Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Brianne, a.k.a. Lady Justice from Minnesota.
Hey, what up? Hey. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hey.
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we chilling. What's good? Speak on it.
So I watched the interview. It was maddening. For one, it was exactly what you were talking about. Was suddenly she had no political leanings any kind of way.
Zero.
And then all of a sudden, this is the first time she voted, and I mean, she was heavy QAnon.
Word.
And I'm like, how do you balance out your political opinion? It took me 4 years to build up to where I am today to be a little bit more decided on my political views.
Yeah.
And anyone I've spoken to who's come to me to talk about politics or my union activism or my anti-discrimination work, I tell them, read, listen to people of different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
I said, start to understand what your values are. I said, that is going to take time. You're not just going to know overnight where you lean politically. For example, if we talk about the political compass, I'm a social anarchist. I'm nowhere near Bernie Sanders at all. But I understand that my political perspective is not going to work for the United States of America. So therefore, I like to build consensus with people. I like to compromise on my political perspective. And I was just really shocked when she said, I voted for the first time. And then when she went on to say, I had never been into politics at all. I stayed away from it. And that was one thing that was really frustrating to me within this particular interview that she did. But also another thing was the content. I felt some kind of way about, I like the fact that she acknowledged when she was talking about utilizing Jewish atrocities to I guess, make a political statement that it wasn't actually right of her to do that, and she understands that now.
Right.
But I feel like the audience will never understand that her post, except for the very last comment, was the only part that was fine. She didn't say anything that anyone else hasn't said about the neighbors turning on the Jews. That is fact. That is historical. That is what happened before the soldiers could do anything. It was the part where she was talking about basically when you treat your neighbors differently because of their political views, this is basically what you're doing.
Right.
And that's, for me, I was like, if you don't understand the impact of that and how people see that, then, you probably should just kind of refrain from making statements.
I think that what's frustrating to me is that this is someone who clearly is not fully, let's just say, well-versed in waxing political, to the point where maybe she is just grabbing things from people that she's hearing in her world that maybe are right-leaning, and she goes, oh, that sounds good. I'm just going to copy and paste whatever they say in a way. Instead of actually thinking for herself and actually thinking, okay, what can I say that's really going to be from my voice? It almost seems to me like she's just grabbing from other people certain things. Given the fact that she does make a lot of money, she makes a great deal of money, so of course her financial status is a lot different than the average bear, right? So she's going to be quick to lean towards the right side because that's where her financial demographic is. That's where a lot of the money is, right? So of course she's going to sit there and lean towards more of a Republican thing. But then she's getting sucked in and she's hearing all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying? She's hearing all this crap and then she's splurting it out on her, within 150 characters on Twitter. You see what I'm saying? Like, she has no idea what she's talking about. She's just copying and pasting as best as she can to sound intelligent, to sound like she's, you know what I mean? America, take our country back. You know?
And that was interesting in the interview. You could tell that she really didn't understand what she was talking about because she was really stumbling and fumbling and mumbling over her words a lot. And she just seemed really uncomfortable. Even her body language seemed uncomfortable. But she also, made some statements that were, I love everyone. I don't judge people for these things that are, I feel like that are very socially progressive ideas. And I was really like, I don't think you really know where you are. And the books you said you acknowledged you read, saying she read, what was it? Shapiro's book or whatever it was. I just felt like she took something and ran with it and didn't care about the other side of the coin.
And I think that she's also capitalizing on the situation that she's in right now. So she sees, oh, okay, they wanted to cancel me. They won, in a way. They got what they wanted. I got fired from the job. Then Ben Shapiro comes swooping in, saying, hey, I got a great idea. I want to make a movie with you. Let's do this movie. And now she gets to do her own thing. But now she knows that she has a family. She has a family now that's going to support her. Like I've talked about in one of the live shows in the past about this whole situation. Her kerfuffle has now turned into a lucrative cash cow. So now she's leaning on Ben Shapiro because she knows that she is going to make money with him, with his party, with his fan base and all that stuff, including her fan base that loves her and that didn't want Cara Dune to be canceled. They're going to come over and they're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to support her till I die. So, yeah, of course she's going to act like she read a book. You know what I mean? Hell yeah.
I was going to say also.
I don't think she should have been canceled.
I do agree with that, too.
I think there are far worse and more pressing things that we should be worried about than a Hollywood gaffe on Twitter. Like, quite honestly, that should not be the focus. I think she should have kept her job. I think she was wonderful at the character she played. Like, I support her because of the actress that she is, not her political views. And I think that it's really important that we start separating out celebrity area of expertise and their opinion. Because at the end of the day, like I watch you because you're good at what you do acting, not for your political opinion.
Facts.
And I wish people who are progressive would start to understand that, so they stop canceling people, because it's not helpful to, I feel like, broader Hollywood. It's not helpful to the industry. It's not helpful to diversity.
I do agree, because I mean, no matter what your political thoughts are, whether you like, whether Chuck Norris is a hardcore Republican or a hardcore Democrat, it don't matter. Does he kick ass and take names? Yes, he does. Do you like his movies? Yes, you do. So just keep watching the movie. He's not going and putting in his political thoughts in the movies. You know, he's not giving you his propaganda. Now, here's a different story, though, because now you got Gina Carano going out here and doing movies with Ben Shapiro. So you know for a fact there's going to be some sort of right-wing propaganda going on. So in that regard, that's what sucks. It's not like she could just be Cara Dune without some crazy messages, you know, political propaganda going on. Now she's working with Ben Shapiro, and he going to be stuffing that movie with all kinds of political propaganda throughout the entire thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But,
exactly.
Lady Justice, thank you so much for the phone call. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. You both have a great night.
You too, sweetheart.
Thank you. You as well.
All right. Well, so yeah, when it comes to all that, it's going to be, it's very interesting. The interview is, I thought was kind of a softball type of interview. You know, I just feel like it wasn't, I feel like, of course, she is speaking with a peer. She is speaking with somebody who's got her back. And, you know, so she doesn't really have to feel uncomfortable. But yes, I do agree with Lady Justice. She does look uncomfortable. She does look uncomfortable. But then at the same time, she is with people. And maybe that's just how she is in general. Maybe she's just an uncomfortable human being. You never know. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the interview is very interesting. It's too long, in my personal opinion. I wish they could have just gotten straight to the point with a lot of different things with a certain subjects, or the editing could have been tighter. I don't know. That's just me being really, you know, nitpicky on everything. And then the commercials, like I told you guys before, you know, that just drove me nuts. You know what I mean? You know, he'll sit there and go, oh, you like peanut butter? I love peanut butter, and peanut butter is really great with VPN. Go and get your VPN right. Like, it's just like, oh my God, just stay on. Just put in the commercials. Not during the damn interview. It was just annoying. That's all I'm saying. But, you know, good honor for stepping out and having a conversation and being honest about what was going on. We can only see what happens, what, you know, how it develops and what she does from here on out. You know, Gina Carano's not going to go anywhere. She's not going nowhere. And actually, if she ends up doing this, producing her own movie and making this movie and starring in this movie and making this movie look dope as hell, this could actually catapult her to a whole other level. My only concern, though, is that it'll turn into polarizing movies. Everything will be, oh, Democrats go and see these movies and Republicans see this movie. You know what I'm saying? It's almost civil war in movies. You know, it'll split up the country. And I think that's ridiculous, you know? But we'll see. We'll see what happens, you know? I would love to see a celebrity death match between Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson. I would love to see that. I would pay to see that, bruh. I would pay to see that. Please make that happen. Okay? Oh, and someone just said, Allison just said, drop your cash apps, sending a couple people a small blessing. Wow. Somebody wants to be giving. Somebody wants to be giving up in this piece. So, yo, anybody out there that wants to, you know, get some love, get some good vibes from some people, from some people from some member of the family chat, please comment your Cash App and you'll be getting some love. through Cash App. So don't be shy. Comment in the comment section while we have a few more moments before I wrap up the show, because I got to go and I got to run here soon. But Black Sheepdog, thank you so much for being on. You know what I mean? Have a great night. We'll be back on tomorrow morning, and there'll be one tomorrow night. Actually, in the meantime, while you guys are trying to figure out what your Cash App address is and all that, I wanted to say this too. I do have a couple segments that I'm going to be doing starting tomorrow and on Friday. So tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a special segment tomorrow night on the show live called Ask Pascal. And there is a channel that has been made on Discord right now. So please go to the Discord. If you haven't joined Discord, please join Discord so you can find out those things. You can literally ask me anything you want within the confines of respect. Okay? That's it. So if you got a question, you got a burning question that you want to ask me, etc., please, by all means, go to my Discord channel, and it will say Ask Pascal. It'll be a little channel, little segment area saying Ask Pascal. Please go over there. Comment if you have any questions that you want to know. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. You know? Oh my dear God. No, I will work on getting you the lyrics. I promise you. This man is busy. Do you understand? This man is busy. I'll do my best to get you the lyrics. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. But definitely, if you go to the Ask Pascal segment or area on Discord, and boom, you go, do that thing, check it out. It'll be up there. The new shirt, the new design was supposed to be out today. I don't know what's going on. Jack runs the merch store, so I'll be on his ass here very, very soon to see what the hell is going on, because that design should have been out a long ass time ago. So I'll be on hopefully we'll get that figured out here very, very shortly. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully we'll have that answer for you here tonight. And hopefully it will get remedied for tomorrow morning. Let's see. Yeah. Anybody who has a Cash App, definitely Allison wants to give y'all some love. So please, most definitely comment your Cash App as soon as possible, because I am going to jump off here very soon. So, anyway, the other thing is the opera. Opera thing is going to be live, and that's on Friday. So I'll be doing that Friday morning when I do that part. And I'm still waiting on some more lyrics from you guys. So please go over there, put that in there. Definitely ask questions on the Ask Pascal. That is the stuff where you guys get to just, get to know me a little bit more. We get to talk. Or if you guys are seeking advice on anything, we could talk about those things. I can give you advice and everything. I feel like I'm a fairly nice guy, and I feel like I have some good advice to give. So I will be doing some Ask Pascal questions tomorrow night. Okay? So, anyway, the lyrics page is a hot mess. I'm so confused. LOL. You got a good point. I'm not the one who's controlling that, but I will send a text to David just to see if he can clean that up a tiny bit. Because I have not looked at it. I'm waiting to look at it tomorrow night so that I can put something together for Friday morning. So, yeah. Be sure to keep a lookout on the trap opera thing, and I'll be doing whatever I can to put something together and clean that place up. So do that. Ask Pascal. Definitely the link is right here in the chat, so please go click on that. Join the Discord. We have merch. New merch should be dropping in the next day or two with a new design and everything. If you're looking to buy some new swags, nice T-shirt design, that kind of thing, please go do that. I got some other stuff that's in the works here very, very soon. Sorry for all this, this bird shot of all this information, but there's a lot that I'm adding into the show. There's a lot more, little nuances that I want to make sure you guys know of and everything. But anyway, T, thank you so much for being on, man. I really do appreciate it.
Anytime, bro. Anytime.
Yeah, man. Everybody who's been on the chat, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for the call-ins and everything like that. I know somebody who called earlier and I missed you. I'm sorry that I missed you, but thank you so much for calling in. Y'all don't need to be so shy to call in. Just call in and let's chop it up. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't bite. I just don't. I don't even have teeth. It's just nothing but gums. You know what I'm saying? So don't be shy. We'll be doing call-ins tomorrow as well. We'll chop it up. Okay, guys? But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Much love to you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. All right? This is The Pascal Show. Bye.